What's up, YouTube? Now, if you're reading the title of this video, you may be confused and wondering what am I talking about, but I'm going to explain. So basically, if you read it, it should say, stop letting other people's insecurities rub off on you. What I mean by that basically is, if somebody has something negative to say and putting you down based on the way you live your life or a decision you make, basically what that person is doing is putting their insecurities onto you. And I dealt with this problem for a minute. I was very insecure about some of the things that was being said to me, and I thought they were just friendly jokes when they really wasn't. And you know, it's really not hard to tell when somebody's putting you down and just telling jokes in general. But I was just so blinded to what was really going on, so I didn't understand. And like I said, when you get some type of negative response or negative response to the decisions in life that you make, or just the way you live your life in general, that's basically somebody putting their insecurities onto you. Now, if you believe these insecurities and the words that are being said about you, then you're insecure about what they're saying to you, is what I'm basically trying to say. And you have to do the work to realize that you need to work on these insecurities and become whole within yourself, to not let those things affect you anymore. And like I said, for a long time I had a problem dealing with this, and I really didn't understand. But once you really sit back and realize what they are basically saying to you is their insecurities, you really sit back and realize, like, you know, you're stronger than that, and you can't let that affect you. And yeah, you're stronger than that, and you can't let that affect you. Sorry if I'm rambling on. But you have to put in the work to not let those things affect you anymore. And once you do that and you sit back and realize some of the stuff that's being said to you, and you start to pick up on the signs of that, especially if your so-called friend has always something negative to say on the decisions and the way you live your life, or just the way you are, then you need to cut them off. Because honestly, they don't want to see you do better, and they don't want to see you win. And it took me a minute to realize that. And like I said, once you find them signs, just let it go. Because even if, you know, they are so-called friends, and you knew them for how many years, or how close your friendship is, if they're saying stuff to you like that, then they really didn't want to be there and support you from the beginning. And I actually dealt with this 2 times, and I'm finally glad I realized that now, because I become more whole within myself and finally destroyed those insecurities about myself. I'm not gonna say that I still don't have insecurities, But most of the things that I was insecure about, I let go, and I did the work on myself and able to not have those insecurities anymore. And like I said, man, once you do the groundwork and you actually become more whole within yourself and realize the stuff that's being said to you and projected onto you is just another person's insecurities, you need to cut them off after that, because they honestly do not want to see the best for you. Especially when it comes to really important stuff in your life, or stuff that that really makes you feel some type of way, and makes you have those insecurities in the first place. Especially, when it comes to anything like virginity, females, money, all type of stuff in general. And it's kind of sad, because with those insecurities and the stuff that was being said, which I thought were jokes, I felt like I had to prove myself in order to not have those insecurities within myself anymore. And that's just one example of why you don't need to prove anything to anybody, especially when it comes to insecurities like that, where you feel like you have to prove yourself to somebody. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody in this lifetime at all. If you know your worth and you know what you're capable of, and if you value yourself and have respect for yourself and are whole within yourself, then you really don't need to prove anything to anybody. And therefore, once you figure that out, you will not have those insecurities anymore. And really, that's all I just wanted to say. But the main thing I want you to pick up from this video is, if you having people saying those type of things and negative responses to the things you do in life, then you need to cut them off and realize that is just them promoting and projecting their insecurities onto you. If somebody is always questioning you on this example, sorry if I'm babbling off. If somebody, for example, is always putting you down for not wanting to do drugs, and saying you weak and this and that, like you soft, you a punk, like quit being scared, all this and this and that, realize the stuff that they're saying to you, all that stuff, you're weak, you soft, you scary, basically what they're trying to say to you, and once you realize this, what they're saying to you is basically, oh, if I didn't smoke, I would feel weak, I would feel like a punk, I would feel scary. That's all they're trying to say to you. And once you realize that and figure that out, you will no longer have that insecurity, because once you understand that about them promoting that onto you, you would feel more comfortable, because you know all that they're saying to you is basically if I didn't smoke, I would be insecure. So they feel scared and judged and want to be judgmental because about the decisions that you made. So they're projecting their insecurities onto you. And like I said, once you realize this, just cut them off, especially if they're a friend. Or if they're just somebody you know, like an associate, just try to distance yourself from them so you're not around that type of energy, because that's not good and you don't really want to be around that, especially if they're your friends. If they constantly are saying negative things about the way you live your life and the decisions that you make, then you need to cut them off and just leave them be. Because honestly, they didn't want to see you win in the first place.